So, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kundiman, second year criminology. So, today I will be discussing about the 10 commandments of the fire safety. So, number one, watch the muzzle, keep it pointed in the safe direction at all times. So, we need to watch the muzzle at always that need to point our gun for in the safe direction in order to prevent any dangerous acts to a particular person. So number two, treat every firearm with the respect due to loaded gun. So it might be loaded even if you think it's not. So in this, so meaning to say, treat your gun with respect. Put in your mind always that your gun is can lead into someone's life, or it may be can lead into dangerous. So you need to have respect of your gun. You always think the safety needs of each and everyone for yourself and somebody in your surroundings in order to prevent any casualties or dangers for particular persons. So number three, be sure of your target and what is in front of it, and knowing and identify the game you hunt. Make sure you have an adequate to shoot a flat surface or water. So meaning to say, we need to sure in our target in order to have exact direction of your what we call this, the ammo of the gun. So when you point the gun, we need to put in ourselves that this is a sure ball. So in order to prevent any error, and it can lead to someone's dangerous life or danger life. So number four, keep your finger outside the trigger guard until ready to shoot. This is the best way to prevent accidental discharge. So this line is sabotable because we need to keep our finger as always in the trigger guard in order to prevent the what we call accidental discharge, because there are some cases that um, we kalabit the trigger of the gun in accidental way. So if you have a gun and you need to think as always in the 12 golden rules that you must put your finger in the outside of the trigger gun if you are not ready to shoot. Okay, so number 5, check your barrel and ammunition. Make sure the barrel and action are clear of obstruction and carry only the proper ammunition for your firearm. So meaning to say, you need to check as always, or maybe weekly or monthly, that your barrel and ammunition is ready and your barrel is clearly and no obstruction is carrying, in order to what we call this, in order to use it properly, and no obstruction will cause in your firearm. So number 6, unload firearms when not in use, and leave action open and carry firearms in cases and unload to from shooting area. So meaning to say, if you are not using your firearms, you need to unload it. It because, like for example, in this scenario, you are in your house and you have a lot of children, and if they will see your gun in an area and you think it is not loaded but it is loaded, and they will play it, they will play your gun and accidentally um, click the trigger, and maybe it can danger someone's life. So you need to unload firearms if it is not in use or if you don't use it. Okay. So number 7, point a firearm only at something you intended to shoot and avoid horseplay. So meaning to say, in number 7, you don't need to have a joke in using a firearm because it's so dangerous. If you need to point only the firearm to those people or someone that you will intended to shoot or a thing that you shoot. Like for example, in a shooting area, you need to point at, as always, in a straight direction or intended to shoot in order for you to have a safety. You need to point the gun in other people. Instead, you need to put it in a proper way, or where will you point it to shoot. Okay, so number 8, don't run, jump or climb with a loaded firearm, or unload the firearm before you climb, and fence a tree or a jump a ditch, pull a firearm your back. So meaning to say, in this line, don't jump or climb. Don't mind to those professionals, like for example the army or the policemen or women, that they run or jump even they have a gun because they have a proper training. But to those civilians or people who has a license firearms, they don't need to run and jump because there are some cases that it can lead to dangerous life. So they need to they don't need to run and jump if they have a loaded firearms, because there are some cases it will shot even you are running, because you don't think that your finger is not in outside of the trigger guard, but you suddenly put it and click, then it will create a boom boom. So number 9, let's proceed to number 9. So store firearms. So in store firearms and ammunition, it is separately and safety. Store in a secure location beyond the reach of the children and careless adults. So meaning to say, this is a safety lines for firearms and ammunition. So as a person or having a firearm, you need to separately your firearms and ammunition in order for people or children will not, or to avoid casualties of any danger, or what we call this, a casualties of your family or even adults if there's a emergency or pagkatalunan bitaw. So in this line, it, it emphasizes that it is for safetyness of each and everyone because it is it indicates that separate your firearms and ammunition. And lastly, the number 10, do not consume alcoholic beverages before or during shooting, and also avoid mine or behavior alternative medicines or drugs. So it is sabotable, guys, that do not consume alcoholic beverages before or during a shooting because if you're drunk, um, you will think in your mind that you you don't know what will happen next if you are having a gun and you will shoot it or point it any people in your surroundings because you are a drunk and you don't know what will happen, and suddenly you will put your finger in the trigger and accidentally click it, so it can lead someone's life. And in order to avoid it, you don't you will always think this kind of commandments. And lastly, this number 10 is a good for the people who are um, always drinking alcoholic beverages, and nor to those people who are using drugs. So it is a big no-no for the public servants to have this kind of um, rules that they if they are drunk or having a what we call this alternating medicines or drugs, they will their guns will confiscated to their respected generals or what we call their fund. And so in general, you need to think always the 10 commandments of a safety firearms in order to save lives and prevent casualties and dangerous or danger for the each and everyone. So that would be all. I'm Anthony Kundiman, and this is our report. This is my report of the 10 safety firearms. So thank you.